This is the drive home with TT and Zach and the return of Alfie. Driving home from the Bet365 stadium where it finished Stoke City. Millwall. Also nil. And the boys' reaction to the scoreline tells you virtually all you need to know about that game. A game of few chances, of very few bits of quality. Some decent defending at times, but ultimately a well-earned point on the road against what can only be said was a very defensive and poor Stoke City outfit. If you'd have said to me at the start of the game, would I have taken a point? The answer would have been yes. I do feel like Stoke City were there for the taking, if I'm being completely honest with you. I felt that they were extremely defensive-minded. They played the ball around the back so many times, and we kind of played a similar style kind of game. You know, we've been more offensively recently, but today we weren't offensive at all, and so much of the game was at the middle third or defensively with possession-wise for both sides. Anyway, we started with Bart in goal, and for me, Bart had very little to do. In fact, I genuinely cannot remember him making a single save. His distribution wasn't great. You know, a lot of the times he kicked the ball straight out and got a lot of stick from the Stoke fans. Ironically, Button done exactly the same thing in the second half. But yeah, very little to do for Bart. You'd expect him away at a ground such as Stoke to have more to do, but he simply didn't. For that reason, I'm going to give Bart a 6. Boys?
Nothing to do.
Yeah, nothing to do. 7 from Zach. Alf?
Same. Nothing to do at all. 6.
6 from Alfie. Then we had the back 3 again, so 3 kind of centre backs that did try and get involved in the play, but again, nothing like we overplayed it at the back. But we had Jake Cooper, Sean Hutchinson, and Alex Pearce. I would say that they nullified Stoke completely. You know, once Stoke got to the final third, other than Joe Allen, who I thought was a class above everybody else on the pitch, Joe Allen was extremely composed on the ball, but once he got to the final third, like I said, our 3 centre-backs just completely cut everything out, and I felt that Pearce and Cooper done enough today to get a 7, but my man of the match, who made one mistake but got away with it a little bit because the ball over the top of him that he went ahead, the Stoke player handballed it, but Hutchinson won absolutely everything today. He intercepted the ball really well. He put pressure on the players. I felt like he won nearly every single header in the air. And for me, Sean Hutchinson was man of the match, and for that reason, I'm going to give him an 8. Boys?
So yeah, two other defenders, I'll give a 7. I mean, Hutch was my man of the match too. He was brilliant today. He was one of his best performances this season.
Alfie? An 8 3/4. We're going into quarters for the ratings now. Right wing back and left wing back was Marlon Romeo on the right, Murray Wallace on the left. I felt defensively Murray came back in a lot. I thought, you know, he showed a turn of pace a couple of times today, and I felt nothing came down his side. You know, he was excellent today. Another solid performance from Murray Wallace, and for that reason I'm going to give him a 7.5. Boys?
I think he done a player, so I'll give him a 7 3/4.
7 3/4. Yeah, Alf?
I'll give him a 7.5.
7.5.
Played pretty well today.
Yeah, I thought he played pretty well. On right wing back was Marlon Romeo, up against James McLean, who Stoke fans gave a standing ovation to when he came off, which I thought was a little bit generous because he'd done 3 of the most woeful bits of skill in the entire game. He missed the best chance for Stoke, shanking wide, and then done the worst cross in the game, absolutely scuffed it, and it nearly hit a poor Stewart, you know, thoughts go out to the steward that nearly lost their life in that tragic accident. But yeah, I thought the fact that they gave him a round of applause will show you that Marlon had a tough day today. But I thought more importantly, going forward, he looked at probably his worst. You know, he did have the 2 chances. Funny enough, we had 2 chances in the first half and they both fell to him. Both times he got the ball on target and made Jack Button make a save. But neither time did I think they were going to go in the back of the net. But like I said, I don't think it was Marlon's best performance. So for that reason, I'm going to give him a 6. Zach?
I mean, Marlon used the ball away way too much for Marlon. I'll give him a 6.5.
6.5. Alfie?
6.5.
6.5. Then we move into the centre midfield pairing of Sean Williams and Jason Malumbe. Both of them got caught on the ball a couple of times, but I think it was just a matter of it being a lethargic game. You know, both teams were sloppy in possession and far too often got caught cheaply, and both Sean and Jason can be were victims of that. Jason Malumbe, I felt, had a better second half than he did the first half. I felt like he did try to get on the ball and try and interplay with the wide players. It just didn't work. Like basically the whole game we had virtually no attacking threat. It was calling out for maybe if we wanted to go for the game, we probably had to change the formation, because the formation today worked defensively but didn't really give us too many options. It was like which we wanted to catch them on the break, and we didn't do that enough. For that reason, Jason Malumbe, I'll give a 7, boys.
Jason Malumbe, I don't think he got in the game, but I still want him to sign. Never want him to go.
Yeah.
I'd give him a 6.
Yeah. So Alfie?
6.5.
6.5. Right, now we move on to Sean Williams. Again, lethargic performance a little bit. I felt that he defended well and obviously got sent off disgracefully. There is absolutely no way of putting it, and it would have been an absolute disgrace if Stoke would have got anything out of that game. And obviously 5 minutes to go, they ended up having a chance because we go down to 10 men and the ball's gone up. Both players have gone for the ball. The only thing, obviously, from the angle, we're behind it. So unless he led with an elbow or with his fist out like Superman, I have no idea why he got sent off, and that's disappointing because, like I said, it made the last 5 minutes unnecessarily difficult, and it was mainly due to, I'll go to ref watch while I'm talking about it, because obviously it's interlinked to Jeremy Simpson was the ref, but the linesman on Stoke's side was, I just saw the sign for Derby, which is why I said it, but the linesman on their side was disgraceful, and as soon as he spoke to the ref, I knew Sean Williams. I turned around and said it. I said as soon as he got involved, he's going to send him off, because he gave us absolutely nothing in the game, and it was never ever a sending off in my opinion. And there was an argument potentially for 2 penalties for us. One, Bradshaw gets in front of the defender and gets brought down, and the other one was holding. Neither one was given, and you didn't think we were going to get anything, and that would have been the only way. Like I said, we would have looked like scoring. But going back to Williams, it now gives us a problem, obviously, moving forward, because now we've only got 2 fit centre midfielders, and Billy Mitchell's going to have to come in. He came on really right near the end, wasted a bit of time, but looks like a load of energy. But Sean Williams, I'll give a 6 for his performance, boys.
Williams had literally the first shot of the game.
Yeah.
It was a little P roller.
It was a P roller, yeah.
And yeah, there was 2 penalties. One of them was a push in Matt Smith's back too.
Okay, that was the other one. Anyway, what are we giving her?
Williams was a 6.5.
Alf, Williams?
Williams did not deserve to come. I was thinking to myself, I said it in my head, how did he come? He shouldn't have came off. But then when the referees went to the line, no way he's staying on.
It was a...
So what are you giving him?
6.5.
6.5. Then we move on to the front three of Connor Mahoney starting as right wing, Jed Wallace left wing, and then Tom Bradshaw up front. I'll talk about them all in terms of how much they basically contributed to the game. And I'll give them all a 6 because They worked hard. They put a lot of effort in, but ultimately, offensively, they've done absolutely nothing, and there's nothing that can be said positively. Jed gave the ball away far too many times. Connor wasn't in the game at all, virtually. Ferguson came on and done virtually nothing. And Tom Bradshaw put himself about a bit, but I felt like he was a little bit reluctant to make a tackle today. So that reason, I'm giving them all a 6. And I'm not being harsh. We just didn't look anything. We didn't look like an attacking threat, boys.
I'll say I'll give Mahoney. He weren't in the game. I'll give him a 5.
5, yeah. Jed Wallace.
Bradshaw.
Bradshaw.
A 6.
Yeah.
And then Jed was his normal self, trying to run to the balls, but just not working out. I'll give him a 6.
6. Alf.
All a 6.
All
6.5, but Mahoney 6.
Okay.
They all put a lot of pressure on Stoke's back line.
Yeah.
And some of the time that was good. But all of the time that was good. Then they had to pass it back to the keeper and go long.
I did think they worked really hard, but in terms of looking like scoring, we just didn't do it today. We now move on to next Saturday, a home game back to the Den. Like I said, it will probably, unless Ryan Ledder comes back from his injury, it will be Billy Mitchell and Jason Mulumbe, which I'm excited about, to be honest. We go back down. I'm just about to join the M1. I'm on the A50 at the moment, but we're going to drive down the M1 with a point in our back pocket. And I've got to say, before I say anything else, Stoke City, what a quiet stadium that was. One of the worst atmospheres I've had all year, but to be fair, watching that boring football every week must be difficult. If you don't mind, like the video. I know if you're to this end, you're a loyal fan, and 25% of the people that start the video end the video, so you know that you're a proper fan of the channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the Millwall Drive Home, boys.
Back
No
in
one.
the Den.
Yeah, go on.
Come on, you lions!
Come on, you lion!
Go on, you lights.